Hey everyone, and welcome to Ricky's Rockin' Reviews. I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while. I've been doing a lot of book reviews, but I also wanted to make sure I'm, coming back to my roots, to my comic book roots. I love comic books. I love all things superheroes. I have a collection of comics in single issues. I have omnibus, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, oversized hardcovers, absolutes, library editions, and some box sets as well. And I love all that stuff, which is why when I saw a video from this channel, aka Pad, who I don't have anything against, but I saw him calling out Gem Mint Collectibles in one video, talking about how he has, seeded the destruction of new comic book readers and is killing comic book sales, as well as Omnibus themselves, having this adverse effect to comics. And I don't believe that at all. I can only speak for what I like and what I see in the comic book world right now. And I feel like, after around 2011, 2012, things started to really nosedive when it came to comics. After Civil War and Siege, I think Siege was the last good comic book storyline in Marvel. And DC has had some trouble as well. I think Brightest Day and Blackest Night, those were probably their hardest hitting stuff that's come out. So I really just like to get to the point and say that I believe that Marvel and DC, the big two, they're the ones that are, shooting themselves in the foot. I feel like they're the ones that are committing financial and creative suicide. They're producing some really lackluster stories and really leaning into the identity politics that I think no one has a taste for. No one who really actually buys comic books wants. They're doing it for headlines and they're suffering for it. And I feel like they should suffer for it. And I believe with us buying Omnibus and all these issues that happened before, storylines that happened before, it should really be showing Marvel and DC that we want to go back to those grassroots, to those innovative storytellers and, innovative comic book art that, transcends time. That stuff that we keep going back to. It's incredible. That's what we want. And they're not giving us that, so that's where we're going to go. You can say things about the price point, of course. I feel like that needs to get a little bit under control, but so far I've been doing really well on in-stock trades, just watching out for sales and, not really jumping on everything that comes out on day one. I've noticed that I can kind of wait and hold off for like some damaged sales or red tag sales. And that's been doing really well for me. I've been getting some really good deals. And in this way, I've been able to collect story arcs that I couldn't really do myself. It would take me so long to go to different comic book stores and have to find individual issues and piece them out. I feel like that's, there's definitely some fun to that. I don't disagree with that, but it would take so much effort and time, So I have a full-time job, and having an omnibus just really allows me to enjoy the old stuff in a way that nothing else compares to. No digital services could compare to. Right now I'm holding Avengers Omnibus Volume 3, and it's protected in this kind of like mylar plastic for the dust jacket, and it collects so many issues, and it also presents it in like a kind of oversized fashion. And there's beautiful remastered art in there. Just look at how wonderful that is. And some of them even collect the letter pages at the end, which is so damn cool. So, there isn't just Omnibus either. There's so many different forms of collecting the comics that I love. Here we have an epic collection. This is Ghost Rider Volume 1, collecting the stuff from 1972 to 1975. Really lightweight, easy to hold, and it's got everything in there. Remastered colors. One place, super convenient. Even presents the covers as they were initially. And you got some really cool Wicked extras at the end. That makes me happy. I love that, you know. I don't need to be holding the old comic. I love it in this form as well. Remastered. The best of the best. And they come in all shapes and sizes. This is like an even smaller trade paperback. This is the Adventures of Spider-Man. It's taking like the art style and storylines created in the animated TV show from the 90s. This collects 7 through 12. And it's just so nostalgic from when I was a kid. And there's even this old stuff here, this Donald Duck by Carl Barks that I wouldn't have come to appreciate if it wasn't for Fantagraphics collecting these old issues and putting them in these absolutely beautiful hardcovers. This is The Black Pearl of Tabuyuma. Super cute, and the artwork is just unmatched. I love Donald Duck's temper. And these are some of the nicest books you can buy. And they're really affordable. I think the most expensive ones that come out are like 30 bucks. And they come out in gift sets of 2 sometimes that come out on sale. And, you know, there's so much fun to be had with these books. And like I said, it's relatively affordable. And here we have the slipcase edition of This Magazine is Haunted, Volume 1. Check that out. You got a slipcase in there. And this is collecting some really old stuff from October of 1951 to October of 1953. Oh yeah. Give me that grimy stuff. And the cool part about this is that the end pages are glossy, just like the magazine would be. Like the pages here feel kind of like newspapery or old, like they would back then. And then these pages here are really like glossy. And when you get to the next page, you'll see what I mean. It's glossy here for the end page, and then for the actual cover right there for the next issue. There's no way I would be able to collect this on my own. So having a collected edition is such a huge benefit. Here's the Bizarro hardcover collection. And this one's really cool because this actually shows like the different paper textures that each artist is going for and like the different feels that they're trying to get to based on the way the texture of the paper is and stuff. And you're even able to get that in a collected edition, which is super cool. So here's like a normal kind of sheet. These are collections of different stories. So then when it gets to this like old-timey Batman stuff, it gets like even way more throwback on the sheet and the texture of the paper. I mean, you can see it for yourself there. And then it progresses to like the same type of paper kind of, but then to like a semi-glossy color version with like some really cool art with Captain Marvel, or as some would say, Shazam. I collect all kinds of things. And then we get to this behemoth. This is Madman Library Edition Volume 1 by Mike Allred. Oh my gosh. This is home invasion protection right here, man. This thing is huge and awesome. And I don't have to collect all these rare comics on my own, you know, visiting all kinds of thrift stores and used bookstores and comic book stores and estate sales and garage sales. All these type of things that I would have no time for. But I have it all right here. Check it out, man. These pages are huge. They're bigger than my head. And this Madman collection is one of my favorite comics. It's so cool. And I never would have been able to really take a deep dive if it wasn't for this massive library edition, which I was able to get really affordably. It was only $60 for all this. You know, the comics right now, they cost like $3.99 at least. Oh my gosh. Just do the math on how many issues you'd have to collect to get really quickly get to that $60. It's cool to have them in person, don't get me wrong. I have some long boxes with single issues, and I have a lot of fun with those, and I love looking at them, and I love, you know, having to take them out of their protective sleeve, you know. And I like getting like the bags and boards for them. It's a really fun process, you know, and flipping through those and seeing like the old 2003 like Hulk advertisements on there, or like the Got Milk advertisements on them, or, you know, even like the really old advertisements, you know, that little kid with the cowboy hat on and the big old, you know, like the big old bubblegum chewing stuff. That's awesome. I love that stuff too. But I'm just trying to show that I'm able to collect so much from different eras. You know, this is, you know, one of the most recent things that DC is doing with the Black Label. This is the Batman Damaged, which is really cool. I really like the concept of this, and I feel like comics should be making more of an effort to do stuff like this. I feel like, you know, when it comes to the actual singular universe or multiverse that they're doing now with the comics, it can be really confusing what's happening. You know, you go visit a comic book store, and if someone wants to have an introduction, there's going to be tons of number ones because there's number ones all the time, which is kind of part of the problem, and you still don't know where to start. But I like these one-offs, man. This is the future. This is what I've always wanted. You know, you buy 1 or 2 books, or you can, you know, quickly wait a couple months to have a collected edition and tell a singular story, a vision. You have a writer and an artist who have this awesome collaboration that is going to see it out to the end. You know, it's super cool. And you get some incredible artwork. Collected edition. And most recently, I found these Deathstroke the Terminator by Marv Wolfman trade paperbacks in like incredible condition at a used bookstore. Look at all that. Super affordable. I spent less than $50 on 5 trade paperbacks. Super sick. And like I said, it's really important for us to support writers and artists and creatives who have a vision and who, you know, want to cut out all the BS from their books. And that's why I follow ISOM. Here's ISOM number 1 and 2. Both of these issues have like over 96 pages of story and incredible artwork. And it's a brand new universe. It's super cool to step into here. This is really fresh. This is what people want. People want, you know, hard-hitting story with substance. That's what we need. Omnibus is not killing comics. The big two are killing comics, sadly. So while they're doing their thing, I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to enjoy all the comics that I have collected here on my own, you know, reminiscing about the past, because it's important for us to know our history. And we love our history. We love where our characters came from. And right now, you know, these like facsimile versions of the characters that are on the comic book store pegs right now, those are not our heroes. They're not the heroes of yesteryear. And I hope we get to come back to, you know, true form superhero storytelling, you know, like Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Roy Thomas era stuff, man. I can't wait. I hope that happens. I don't see that happening or coming to fruition anytime soon. So like I said, until then, I'm going to be enjoying the comic books that I have here. And this isn't the last video that I'll make going over comics. This is one of my true passions. I love superheroes. I love comics. I love incredible storytelling in different forms. I love when our heroes can transcend the media that they came from. You know, we love the movies. The MCU was good for a few phases. It was awesome. It ended after Endgame for me, that's for sure. And, you know, we have some singular stories that were told, you know, like the Dark Knight trilogy by Christopher Nolan and, you know, written by him and his brother. Amazing, incredible stuff, timeless stuff, classics. You know, even when they get transmuted into something a little bit similar or a little bit close to what comic books are, and that's the prose novel. This is the beginning of Greg Cox's Gamma Quest books. This is a team up between the Avengers and the X-Men, and this is the first in the series. And it's all prose, and it's still awesome. I really love these prose books. I need to do more videos on these. And I'm especially willing to try stories that aren't necessarily superhero related. Here we have, you know, Hickman's Decorum, which I bought because I saw a little bit of the artwork and I saw that the story was kind of new and fresh. And it's like kind of space, cosmic, assassin-y. So it looks really cool. I've seen a little bit of the artwork and it's only sealed because I just recently got it. You know, I even have the works of Daniel Klaus. I have Saga. I have House of Secrets, Lock and Key, The Heap, Speed Racer. So many things. There's so much to love in comics. And incidentally, it's all stuff that happened before. You know, there's, you know, along the way, the comics lost their way. So... You know, there's some times where we can find some good footing, like I said, in like these most recent comics that I mentioned that I think are worth trying out. But by and large, there's a lot of crap out there. And that's just my opinion. Maybe it's just, you know, I'm getting older. This like get off my lawn sentimentality. But I don't know. I know I'm not the only one. So please, guys, if you had anything to say about this, leave some comments down below. Like, share, do your own video response. Let's get this conversation going. I look forward to making more videos on this topic. I look forward to making more videos on comics and Omnibus, my collected editions and the stories I've read. And until next time, enjoy reading your comics.